What I'm curious about, you founded so many companies. At the current company that you're at, Daily AI, at what point were you like, that's a problem, I want to solve it, and I know how to solve that? Like, what kind of compelled you to be like, I'm going to go start this, and I'm going to go validate this? Like, did you have validation before? Was it like conversations with friends? What was kind of your thought process to being like, that's my next venture that I'm going to start?
Started in the last company that I sold. So there's a company called GrowFlow, and we were building what I would argue is maybe the most boring product I've ever sold ever. It was compliance software in the legal cannabis industry.
Didn't you guys sell it
That's
for
literally what I sell.
$60 million?
That's what we sold, right? So, but like we got our funding on March 20th of 2020. So the whole strategy for go-to-market got blown up because like you can't buy ads. You can't really post on organic social because nobody cares. They have to be looking for you. But if nobody knows, because the algorithms will nerf you basically. And so if you want to reach people, it's like, okay, we might have to door knock. I might have to build like a regional sales team and just get in people's face, like politely and lovingly, of course. Well, that didn't work. So we just went old school, man. And we did old school direct mail. And I mailed people because it was COVID, everybody was isolated and, people weren't going out to eat. So I mailed them like it looked like sushi, but it was socks. It was sushi socks with like a letter that was like, hey, I know this whole thing sucks and none of us can leave our houses. If you want real sushi, I'll buy you sushi on Uber Eats. Just get on a phone with me. I'm not trying to sell you anything. All I want to do is help you come up with a growth plan for your business. And then if that didn't work, I would send them another gift and another funny letter. And after like 6 letters, they would come and give us their email to have this conversation. And then like the comments I would get back was like, oh man, like you sent so many letters and they were so funny. I started reading them in front of the office and finally I was like, okay, screw it. Like you can buy me lunch. Like let's have a conversation. And so, that was strategy one. But the way that we really hooked them is that like, that was the hook. The way that I got them into our ecosystem was through email. Right. And I realized how powerful email was. And, I do these talks all over the country and I'll say, hey man, raise your hand if you use, email in your business, and every hand goes up. And I say, keep your hand in the air if you use TikTok in your business. And like 95% of hands go down. 95% of hands for people that are 30 and older. Right. And I'm kind of picking on TikTok, but it's true. Like everybody uses email. It's got more daily active users than any single social media platform on the planet. It's the oldest killer app on the internet. I mean, it's just like when you're first, it's hard to kill you unless you really screw it up. So email is just, whether we like it or not, it's embedded in how we do business. And like, because I'm a little bit of a contrarian, I was like, so as the GrowFlow was selling, I was immediately like, it's not even sold yet. I'm like, yo, what's the next thing? It's got to be around email, because everybody's looking at like social and paid traffic and the new whiz bang thing. And this is in 2021. So this is before ChatGPT came out, before the whole AI Cambrian explosion. But I had enough exposure to machine learning to know that it was going to be a huge deal. So I was like, I wonder what we could do with email and machine learning. And I kind of got this vision of like turning, marketing, because everything in its excess becomes its opposite. Everything has this pattern, yin and yang, right? Like you go too far in one direction, you end up back where you started. So like the way that marketing works is like, you study David Ogilvy back in the day, he would say that like, marketing is salesmanship in print, right? And so he would go knock doors and sell, like, I think it was like pots and pans or like devices. David Ogilvy said, selling salesmanship in print is basically selling, or like that's one to many. Like he's taking salesmanship and putting it in print. That's marketing. But I thought, man, well, if we could use machine learning to like get that segmentation from one to many down to like one to a few, or maybe even one to one. Because if you think about it, like when you log into Netflix, like it's not saying like, hey, Dave, like you should watch what Joe watches. It's saying you should watch what Dave likes to watch. And if I go on Amazon, it's not suggesting to me what my wife would buy. It's suggesting to me what I would buy. So it seems stupid that the rest of us are still offering products and services like in a follow-up sequence that's one to many where everybody gets the same message. Because 40% of the content you put into the marketplace actually pushes your prospect away from the sale because it's the wrong message, wrong channel, wrong time, wrong offer. It's intrusive. And for a lot of people, that's like a deal breaker. So you want to get that right.